Hey friends, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. Also welcome to day 2 of our 7-day yoga challenge. Thank you so much for being here. In today's class, we open our hearts in this heart opening yoga flow. Some nice to have items would be a blanket, as well as 2 yoga blocks or 2 thick books. However, if you do not have these items, it is all good. Work with what you have. All right, without further ado, let's get started. We begin today's practice on our backs, but before you head on down to the ground, if you do have a blanket nearby, feel free to fold that blanket lengthwise, like so, and then place it horizontally on your mat, where you believe your shoulder blades will rest when you come to lie down. And if you do have yoga blocks or couch cushions or thick books nearby, you can place them to the side of your mat, as you may wish to use those items. All right, so come on down to the ground, planting your feet on the mat, hands on the earth, and then lower on down to your forearms, and then eventually onto your back body. So your shoulder blades should be resting on your folded blanket, and the back of your head resting on your mat. Now, if you're working without a blanket, just snuggle your shoulder blades underneath your back body to create a nice lift in your heart space. Now, walk your feet in and then together. So the soles of your feet connect, and then allow your knees to grow heavy and fall open like a book. Now, this is where your yoga blocks could come into play here, because you can actually place yoga blocks, thick books, couch cushions, whatever you have, underneath your legs for extra support and a beautiful lift. You can walk your heels in towards your body for a deeper stretch and a hip opening, or walk those heels further away from your body, your choice. Tuck in your chin slightly, and then when you are ready, place your left hand on your heart space, and then your right hand on your belly, and then close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose, and then breathe out through your nose. This time, when you breathe in, send the breath to your heart. And then breathe out. Breathe in, sending the breath to your heart space. Perhaps feeling your heart beating underneath your left hand. And then breathe out. Continue these beautiful, nourishing breath cycles to help us settle on into our practice. And there is an option, if you're not liking this option with your hands, you can place your hands at your sides with your palms facing towards the sky and just soften through the fingertips. So your choice. So today we explore heart openers. And heart openers are fantastic for a number of different reasons. One reason being is that we get a really great stretch in the chest. We also work to strengthen the back body, getting a little spinal extension. So it's really great for posture, for also deepening the breath. And heart openers are really great for letting go of anything that just doesn't serve us well in the present moment. Same with hip openers. So it's really letting go of what doesn't serve, so that way we can make space for what does serve us well in the present moment. So perhaps you keep that idea in mind, kind of letting go of what doesn't serve us well and making space for what does. Regardless of, why you're here, you're going to get a really great stretch in. And hopefully this practice will make you feel good. Let's breathe in together through the nose. Hold your breath at the top and then open mouth, exhale. Open up your eyes and then bring your hands to your thighs. Close your legs together and then hug your knees in towards your chest. Just hold yourself here for a moment. You may want to just find a little gentle rock from side to side. Wonderful. Find stillness and then melt your knees over to one side. You can use your bottom arm as a pillow, and then the top hand can be used to prop you up to a seat. So take your time getting there, absolutely no rush. And if you would like, you can continue to use your blanket. You can sit on the blanket in this cross-legged seat if you would like. All right, so when you do get there, on your next breath in, send your hands to the sky. Really take up space as you do this. And then breathe out to begin to bend at your elbows, finding goalpost arms or cactus arms. Now draw your hands back in space to really open up through the heart. Breathe in to send your hands to the sky, and then breathe out to bend. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in to send both hands to the sky, look up, and then breathe out to twist to the right, releasing left hand to right thigh and right fingertips to the earth. Breathe in to grow nice and tall through your spine, lift on up through the heart. And then breathe out to journey into your twist, looking past your right shoulder. Notice any areas in which you can soften here, such as your fingertips, parting your teeth, creating space in your mouth. Wonderful. On your next breath in, send both hands to the sky, look up, and then breathe out, twisting to the left. Breathe in to sit up nice and tall, and breathe out, journeying into your twist. Perhaps continuing to visualize directing the breath down to your heart space. Lovely. On your next breath in, send both hands to the sky, and then breathe out to wiggle your fingers like you're raining it on down back to the ground. All right, wonderful work. Let's make our way to all fours now. You can use your blanket to pad your knees, whatever option works good for you. Listen to your body and respond. All right. So walking your hands so that way your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hip points. Spread your fingers nice and wide, pressing into the fingertips. Tops of the feet root down into the earth. Rock that pelvis forward to find length through the low back. And reach the crown of your head towards the top edge of your mat in tabletop position. On your next breath in, reach your tailbone towards the sky, drop your belly, open up through your heart, look forward. And then breathe out to begin to round through your spine, tucking your tailbone under, chin towards your chest. Breathe in to find your cow pose. Breathe out to make your way to cat. Breathe in, drop your belly, look forward, cow pose. Breathe out to cat. And then breathe in to find a neutral spine. Lift your right knee away from the ground and then send the sole of your right foot towards the sky. Keep a bend in that back knee. Now begin to drop your belly closer towards the ground. Loop your shoulders, allow your heart to shine forward, and then draw your chin towards the sky. So you can think cow pose, but with one leg up in the air. Breathe in. Breathe out to draw your chin closer towards your chest. Hug your belly button in towards your spine, and then lower your right knee to the ground. Send the sole of your left foot to the sky. Drop your belly closer towards the earth. Heart center shines forward as you draw your chin towards the sky. Breathe in here. And then breathe out, drawing your chin closer towards your chest. Hug the belly button in towards the spine. And then lower your left knee to the ground. Great work. All right, so stay exactly where you are. I'm just changing my positioning. And then send your right leg out long on your mat. Whole foot presses into the earth, including the outer edge of your foot. Now walk your hands over towards the left side. Your left palm rests on the earth. And then place your right hand on your rib cage. Smear some peanut butter across your rib cage to encourage your heart to face forward. On your next breath in, send your right hand to the sky, look up, and then breathe out to reach over towards the left side. Really press your hips forward so that way your heart can open on up here a little bit more. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in to send your right hand to the sky. And then breathe out to slowly lower your right hand back to the earth as you walk both hands back through center. And then bring your right foot in tabletop position. Send the left leg out long. Walk your hands over towards the right side. Right hand, right palm is on the earth. Left hand on the rib cage. You can smear that peanut butter or jelly, whatever you like to use, across the rib cage as you breathe in and you send your left hand to the sky. Breathe out to reach over towards the right side. Again, you can press your hips forward for a little bit of a deeper opening. Breathe in, sending your left hand to the sky. And then breathe out to lower your left hand to the earth. Walk your hands back through center. And then bring that left leg back in. If you would like a little bit of a break off of the wrists, feel free to take some zombie arms, sit back towards your heels. Take some zombie arms here, directing your fingers closer towards the ground. Receiving a nice little stretch in the forearms. All right, let's make our way back to all fours, finding a tabletop position. Curl your right toes under, and then slide your right foot towards the back edge of your mat. You can rock a little forward and back a few times. And then find stillness. Breathe in. Breathe out to hug your right knee in towards your chest, round through your spine, nose towards your knee. And then step the right foot through, and you can walk your left knee back for a deeper stretch, and feel free to pad that back knee as well. That option is available. So your front ankle is over top, your front knee is over top of your ankle. And we're really light on our fingertips. We're not like dumping a lot of weight into there. And you can actually just check that out by lifting up slightly. All right, loop your shoulders, look forward, breathe in, breathe out. On your next breath in, sweep your hands to the sky, and then breathe out, melting the shoulders away from your ears. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, begin to bend at your elbows, finding cactus arms. Draw your hands back in space. Open up through your heart. Breathe in here and breathe out. Breathe in to send your hands to the sky, and then breathe out to fold on down. Plant your left palm by your inner right foot. As you breathe in, you send your right hand to the sky. Look up. And then breathe out to release your right hand to the earth. Plant your palms on your mat, and then step your right foot back to join your left. Curl your left toes under, and then send the left foot back and behind. Once again, you can find a little rocking motion forward and back. And then find stillness. Breathe in. Breathe out to hug it on in, rounding through your spine. You can think cat pose here. And then step your left foot through. Walk that right knee back for a deeper stretch. And again, we're really light on our fingertips here. We're pressing into our foundation, using all that is touching the earth to support us. Breathe in, breathe out. On your next breath in, send the hands to the sky. Look up this time. Breathe out to relax your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe in to perhaps press the hips a little bit further, open up through the heart. And then when you breathe out, bend at your elbows, finding goalpost arms. Breathe in here. Breathe out. On your next breath in, send your hands to the sky. And then breathe out to fold on down. Plant your right palm on the earth. Breathe in to send your left hand to the sky. Follow that hand as you look up. And then breathe out to release your left hand to the earth. Plant your palms on your mat and then step it on back to a tabletop position. Awesome work, everyone. Walk your hands to the long edges of your mat. Curl your toes under and then lift your knees away from the earth. Hover here for a breath cycle. All right, and now send your hips to the sky, finding a downward facing dog. Bend your knees quite generously here. Look between your feet. Releasing your heart space towards your thighs. All right, breathe in some love into your heart. And then breathe some love out through your mouth. Wonderful. Let's now tiptoe, hop, step, crawl, or whatever I just did to the top of your mat where we meet together in a forward fold. Bend your knees and grab opposite elbows and just sway from side to side. Right here, I invite you to visualize anything that is just not serving you well in the present moment, just washing away, spilling off of the back body and onto the surface beneath you. So it literally could be anything. Right now I'm visualizing the tension that's in my neck and in my shoulders, just washing away as that's not serving me very well. All right, eventually find stillness and then release your fingertips to the earth. For our next transition, I invite you to keep your eyes closed as we slowly roll up through the spine. Last to reach towards the sky is the crown of your head. Rock your pelvis forward. Roll your shoulders back, palms facing forward, and then tuck in your chin slightly. Take a moment to check in with how you feel in mountain pose. Checking in with your physical body and checking in with your heart. All right, open up your eyes if they were closed, and now step your right foot towards the back edge of your mat. Pivot on that foot so that way your whole foot connects to the ground. We are prepping for Warrior 1. So our stance is not going to be super wide like what it is in Warrior 2. Instead, it'll be a little bit more narrow. The heels are also in line with one another to start. I will show another option that you can try out as it actually works better for me. So maybe it'll work good for you too. Okay, begin to bend into that front leg so that way your knee is stacked over top of your ankle. Place your hands on your hips and then direct your hips and your heart to face forward. So for me, I can already feel some tightness and stiffness. So what I'm going to do, and you can try it too, is you can actually just shimmy your right foot towards the right side, that right long edge of your mat, and then even shimmy your left foot towards the left long edge of your mat. And then try to direct your hips forward now. This to me offers a little bit more space, and I no longer feel like I am on a tightrope about to fall off. So hopefully that works good for you. If not, you can just try the traditional warrior one. Okay, on your next breath then, send your hands to the sky. And then breathe out to send your hands back and behind you. Interlace your fingers, reach your knuckles towards the ground, and then away from your body. Breathe in here as you look on up. And then breathe out to lead with your heart, folding forward, sending your hands towards the sky, and then releasing the crown of your head closer towards the earth. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to rise up. Keep that bind with your hands. Breathe in. And then breathe out to release. Hands come to your waist, and then straighten through that front leg, and then turn your toes in. Now just center yourself on your mat. As you know, we're kind of wonky. I know I was at least. And now send your arms from left to right, and then step your feet so that way they're roughly underneath your wrist points. Turn your toes out to face the corners of your mat. Heels turn in. Find length through your back body. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to begin to sink closer towards the earth, bending at your knees, knees tracing over your ankles. All right. Interlace your fingers out in front. Release your index fingers. Breathe in to send your hands to the sky. And now find some baby pulses here. Building some heat in the body. And if you are looking for a little bit more of a challenge, feel free to play around with coming up onto the balls of your feet. So lifting your heels away from the ground. Wherever you are, keep that breath flowing. Let's breathe on in together. And then breathe out to break free and rise on up. Whew. Give the legs, the hips a little shake, because why not? All right, now turn your toes, your right toes to face towards the front edge of your mat now, and then turn your left toes in. So again, we are prepping for warrior one, so choose an option with your feet that feels best for you. Begin to sink into that front leg, direct your hips to face forward towards now the top edge of your mat. Breathe in to send your hands to the sky, look up. Breathe out to swim your hands back and behind you. Interlace your fingers. Maybe you play around with opposite thumb over top. Reach your hands towards the earth and then away from your body to really open up through the heart. Breathe in here. And then breathe out, leading with your heart, nice and strong legs as you fold forward, releasing the crown of your head closer towards the earth. Breathe in. Breathe out to connect to your center as you rise on up. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to break free. Hands come to your hips once again. Straighten through that front leg. Turn your right toes in. And now let's just heel toe the feet to about hip distance apart. Okay. On your next breath, then send your hands to the sky. And then breathe out to lead with your heart as you fold forward. Breathe in to find your halfway lift. If your hands are on your thighs, hug your elbows in towards your side body. Bring your belly button towards your spine. Reach the crown of your head forward. And then breathe out to fold. Plant your palms on your mat and then step it on back to a plank. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to shift forward, and you bend at your elbows as we lower on down to the earth. All right, untuck your toes, pressing the tops of your feet into the ground. Rock your pelvis forward, and then swim your hands back and behind you, interlacing your fingers once again, and then reach your knuckles towards your heels, and then away from your body. Breathe in to lift your chest away from the earth, just as you would in baby cobra. Tucking your chin slightly, looking down at the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out to lower and release. Release that bind. Place your hands at your sides by your rib cage. Curl your toes under. Breathe in. Breathe out to lift your kneecaps away from the earth and press on up into a plank pose. Now bring your right knee in towards center and then back to your plank pose. Left knee comes in, and then back to plank. Keep these mountain climbers going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful. Lower on down to your forearms, elbows stacked underneath the shoulders. Lower your bum down slightly. Breathe in here. And then breathe out to release your hips to the earth. I don't know about you, but that was tiring. A good workout though. All right, untuck your toes. Plant the tops of your feet onto the earth. Notice everything that is connected to the ground. Your forearms, your hands, your legs. Again, find length through the back of your neck by tucking in your chin, looking down and past your nose. Use this moment to reconnect with your breath and perhaps even just notice how you feel. Once again, checking in with the physical body, the emotional body, including your loving heart. All right, let's breathe in together and then breathe out. Curl your toes under, lift your knees away from the earth, and then hug your belly button in towards the spine as you press into all that is touching the earth and you find your forearm plank once again. Breathe in here, and then breathe out to lower your knees to the earth, and then make your way to a kneeling position. So if you already know that kneeling is just not really your thing, it's all good, you're not alone. You can always come to a cross-legged seat, or you could explore placing a folded blanket on your calf muscles and then sit back towards your heels. All right, swim your hands behind you. Place your palms on the ground, fingertips pointing in towards your body. Loop your shoulders, draw your shoulder blades closer towards one another as if you're trying to pinch a pencil between the shoulder blades. Now guide your chin up towards the sky. As you breathe here, this posture always reminds me of, lounging at a beach, on the sand, just enjoying the sun. That really makes my heart feel happy. So that's kind of the visual that I have in mind when I come to this posture. Regardless, we're getting a nice stretch in the chest, in the back body. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, draw your chin back towards your chest first, and then slowly walk your hands forward. And then remove your item if you were using one. And then swing your legs off to one side, and let's come to lay on our backs once again. By the way, you are doing awesome, just in case you did not already know that. All right. And whenever you arrive there, walk your feet in towards your body. So your feet are going to be roughly hip distance apart. Your heels are close to your bum. Hands resting at your sides. Inch your fingertips a little bit closer towards your heels. And then rock your pelvis forward so that way your low back is connected to the ground. On your next breath in, lift your hips towards the sky. Snuggle your shoulders underneath the back body, reaching your chest towards your chin, and then lift your chin up slightly. Bridge pose. And then on your next breath out, let that be your cue to slowly lower down and release. Breathe in, lifting your hips to the sky, slow and controlled. This time you can explore interlacing your fingers underneath your back body, reaching your knuckles towards your heels. And then as you breathe out, release that bind and then slowly lower to the earth. This time, walk your feet to the long edges of your mat. Toes turn out, heels point in. Breathe in once again to send your hips to the sky. So this is a wide-legged bridge. And then breathe out to slowly lower and release. Walk your feet in towards center and then hug your knees in towards your chest. Just wrap your arms around your shins, giving yourself a big loving hug. Just rock a little from side to side. I love doing this because it offers such a good massage to my low back. So maybe you feel that too. If not, it's always good just to give ourselves, a loving and warm embrace. Okay, find stillness. Send your arms from left to right and then bend at your elbows, just like in goalpost arms or cactus arms, palms facing upwards. Breathe in. Breathe out to begin to melt your knees over towards the right side. Your legs eventually connect with the earth beneath you. And do your best to guide your left shoulder blade closer towards the earth to really open up through the chest. You can use your blanket if you brought one with you. You can place it between your legs or underneath both legs. Your choice. Send the breath to your heart in this beautiful reclined twist. All right. So connect to your center, hugging belly button towards the spine. As you lift your knees back through center, you just may need to center yourself on your mat a little bit before melting your knees over towards the left side. Once again, we're doing our best to keep both shoulder blades pinned to the earth, just to open up through the chest a little bit more. This is a great one, to come to for a low back release and also for a nice spinal twist. All right. Again, connect to your center. Lift those knees back to center. And then drop your feet to the earth. Send your legs out long on your mat. Take up space. Allow your feet to grow heavy and relaxed. And then slide your arms to your sides. Palms facing up. Fingertips curling in. And I like to do palms facing up because that to me it reminds me of I'm here to also receive love, not just give love, but also to receive love, which I think is very fitting for a heart opening practice. Okay, so snuggle your shoulder blades underneath your back body to create a beautiful lift in the heart. And perhaps you notice some more spaciousness in this area of the body, as we've been really working to open that area since the very beginning of our class together. If you haven't done so already, close your eyes. Breathing in loving breath cycles. Taking a moment to reflect upon the practice. Perhaps considering what posture felt the best in your body today. How did it feel to open up through the heart? And you do not need to have an answer right here. Perhaps you just consider it. All right. Bring your hands together and then begin to rub your hands nice and fast, building some heat. All right, and then place your hands right on your heart. Can you feel the warmth from your hands? Can you feel your heart beating? Such a lovely feeling. Breathe in through your nose, and then breathe out through your mouth. Well, that was day number 2. Thank you so very much for being here today. I cannot wait to see you for tomorrow, day number 3. Until then, take good care, my friends. Namaste.